A big point of contention and a discussion topic on NBA Twitter throughout these playoffs, and maybe this is recency bias, but it feels like the noise is bigger than normal, has been the refereeing. So which team do you think is getting cheated the most by the refs?
Well, it's me. It's me when we ask these questions during the playoffs with as much great basketball as we're seeing. I get cheated the most. Can we not do that?
So I want to point Lakers Warriors out, for instance, because everybody's talking about, there was one graphic after a game we were talking about drives per drives in the game, and it's like equal drives, but the foul disparity is whatever. The Warriors have historically been a team that fouls a lot. Every time I've had a Steve Kerr at a Warriors game this year, I asked Steve Kerr before the game, what do you guys, they're not a top 5 defense like they've been. What are you guys hoping to improve on the defensive end? And it always starts with, we can't turn the ball over because that hurts our transition defense. We got to stop fouling. Like they're self-aware about it. And I don't know, maybe I contributed to this with my Kings Warriors take, where I felt like the physicality of that series benefited. Not that the refs were favoring the Kings, but it benefited. But I wanted to get your thoughts, both of you actually, on this, because I think it's important. No fan, no viewer wants to feel like their team is being screwed. I believe that argument that my team is being screwed, I just inherently don't believe in that argument. And I lived it. I never felt in any playoff series like the refs were fucking us. You guys watch every game multiple times. You're rewinding. You're watching clips. What do you see?
I think for me, it's more so if we're just limiting it to Lakers Warriors, like it very much just feels like the profiles of the team or the shot profiles of the team. Because like you think about the shots that the Warriors do get at the rim, it's mostly generated by, there's a defensive miscue up here because of our screening action. It's a layup. It's relatively open. Like I don't feel like even some of the drives that they get, it's by benefit of what they've done earlier in the possession, and more or less than the Lakers like posting up or we are isolating a matchup and then driving right at them. And then that's where the physicality, the handsiness of the Warriors might come into play and stuff like that. So I don't really feel like it's a cheating situation. There are calls every game where like, I don't like that one, the rest could let them play. Or, hey, that's a lot of contact. Why didn't they call that? Like I felt that in some sense in every series. But overall, like, no, I don't think there's some big like Laker conspiracy or anything like that. Not in this case anyway.
No, it ties in, I think, to, as Nakai said, how the teams play. So the Lakers in the half court, they can get a little bit muddy. They have to drive. So they're going to drive more. They're more reliant on that. The Warriors, they struggle to contain the penetration. And then on the other end, they're not going to drive as much. So I think each series is different. Each team is different. Each team is relying on different things. If I'm opening up things in pick and roll, I don't necessarily have as many drives. I'm not drawing as many fouls because I'm opening this up. So for me, it's just like, it feels like the best playoffs as far as, hey, this guy's getting all the calls. We haven't seen that.
Do you think the GP2 insertion of the starting lineup is this going to help or hurt this problem for them?
In theory, it should help because of his activity. Defensively, he can guard multiple positions. I think the issue again is the Lakers are comfortable finding other guys and being able to attack off that. I thought the last game, the Warriors probably did their best job as far as being active defensively. I thought Dante DiVincenzo was pretty good. They were really trying to work to contain penetration. And when they were able to keep the Lakers in that box, things kind of opened up.
I want to make one acknowledgement of going back to the fouling thing. You guys kind of said this, which is basically you said all drives are not created equal. And I think it's important to note that for a high volume superstar, Steph historically, not just in these playoffs, Steph historically doesn't shoot a lot of free throws relative to other superstars. Klay Thompson, who has averaged 20 points a game in his career, has had multiple seasons averaging 22. What's his career high for free throws? Off the top of my head, I would guess it's 3.2 free throws a game. Like he's never been seriously, his foul rate is probably similar to my foul rate, right? You're somewhere in the threes shooting free throws. And he's never been a high vol. And those are your two primary scorers. Draymond, and we talk about this all the time, like with Embiid. Giannis is another example of this because I play with Embiid, so I would notice this. Those guys put you in the bonus. because they're drawing so many non-shooting fouls throughout their 8 to 12 minute, burst. Who on the Warriors outside of Steph off the ball is really a guy that draws non-shooting fouls? Right? Let's just acknowledge all of that. I just want to acknowledge all of that.